Let's go live for a bit of Free Fighters casting here. We are approaching the finals, and it's as usual, these tournaments drag out a bit. Just happens. Scheduling for 6 players per match is always a nightmare, especially since we're players from all over the world, right? And there's always stuff coming in the way. But here we are at the semi-finals of the lowest bracket, the 1000 to 1250 ELO. And let's just have a little look at the civilizations of choice here and see how what the players might have in mind here. First of all, the maps that have been picked for this best of 5, meaning 2 home maps per team, is for Grus, Legrosta's team. It is Mediterranean and 4 lakes. Not sure if I have a map command, but in any real case, we have a wide selection of maps, different styles. So that would be Mediterranean and 4 lakes for Grus. They seem to like their hybrid maps. While Murky Boys, the other team, Jägerman's team, they have picked Team Islands and Hideout. So we're going to see lots of naval play potentially for this set here. And that's, that's the beauty of the wide selection of maps. If you just have a quick talk about there. I was going to say, yes, the bans were Nomads, African Clearing, and Arena and Migration. So they did ban the one water map like Migration as well, and Arena they didn't want to play apparently. So okay, so the maps here. Let's see. For first map is always Battle of Africa 2, Arabia. Essentially meaning that we will be seeing most likely the classic pocket with 2 archers players playing flank here. So Britain's not banned. So I'm assuming we'll see a Britain's flank for Arabia. You never know with these guys, though. They had a bit of unconventional picks the previous set I casted from Murky Boys. But let's assume Britain's Mayans on the flanks there. Both Britain's and Mayans. Extremely solid picks for Arabia. Then we could see Indian's pocket. We could see Berber's pocket. However... yeah, Burgundians, that was a random one, so they probably just timed out in the picking, so they got random Burgundians, but that could work as pocket as well. And but if I'm going to make an educated guess here, it has to be Lithuanians for Arabia for Murky Boys here. I think that's the obvious choice, unless they want to counter pick any Franks pocket here from Grus, in which case then they might want to go Indians for the potential of Campbells and the great boom that Indians actually have. So as for Grus here, I think we'll see Frank's pocket on Arabia. I don't see why not, given the other maps here. On the flanks, Chinese maybe, and Ethiopians. Wouldn't be the worst guess ever for Arabia, I guess. So as far as home maps go, maybe we get back to the draft and think a little bit about that. But we have a lot of hybrid maps here. We have Hideout first, and says Hideout that doesn't have water. If I'm going to speculate there, I would say Cumans would be very strong for those semi-closed maps. So Cumans, and then potentially Teuton's flank for Men-at-Arms Towers, and maybe even Poles. Maybe even Poles on Hideout for the castles into Obuch and Arbalest, for example, which is easier to pull off on these semi-closed maps. As for Grus, Khmer pocket potentially, unless they want to land on Team Islands with the Khmer, which is also an option. And but as for Hideout for Grus here, if you should see it at all, then Spanish comes to mind as a solid civilization there for the castles and conquistadors. And possibly Vietnamese. Magyars could do a good Men-at-Arms Towers there as well. Yeah, we'll see. Let's just do the first game, and let me just take an educated guess that we'll see India's pocket, Mayans Britain's flanks, and then Ethiopians Chinese flanks, and Frank's pocket for Grus. Let's find the first game. Actually, I need to boot up the game first before going anywhere. Because as of the most recent patch, you need to restart the game to show the recent additions into the recorded games folder. That was hideout. So looking at the civs here, I'm not sure if I got a single. Yeah, I got Mayans. I got Mayans Ethiopians. I wasn't that bad. But lots of civs I actually didn't quite get right here. But doesn't matter. Let's have a look at Battle of Africa to Arabia. First game in this best of 5. Quick setup of the teams here first. This is not 1250, but 1000 to 1250. Murky Voice and Garus. Something like that. Maybe just 1, 2 O's. Then we switch up Garrett's color here as well. It's going to make it a lot easier to distinguish the difference between the players' colors here. Alright, Battle of Africa to Arabia. Here we go. Let's start with introducing the Murky Boys here. Let's give them a proper eye as well, just for the aesthetics of it. In the pocket, Burgundians for Garrett here. I guess not a bad pocket at all. Fantastic economy for the Burgundians, but you are falling significantly behind the Magyars here in the late game, actually, because Magyars have fully upgraded Knight's line with the everything that entails the bloodlines, the attack, the armor, etc. While the Burgundians have all the upgrades but lack bloodlines, which is arguably huge, both for extended scout play and for the very late Imperial Age. To compensate though, Burgundians get Cavalier in the Cast Age, which has 2 more attack than a Knight with bloodlines, otherwise the same hit points. So, but then again, you need to spend time researching that. It's at half price, everything in the stable for Burgundians, so it makes it a lot easier to get to Cavalier and Paladin, but you're punished by that by not getting bloodlines, right? I'd still say Burgundians could have a nice and healthy scouts opening with an amazing economy to follow with the early eco upgrade that we'll presumably see kicking in early here for the orange player. To the left side, we have Jägerman with the Mayans flank here, wants to play the archers, maybe with an infantry opening like the men at arms. I know Jägerman likes his infantry in general. He used to play that a lot of in 1 versus 1s at least. But the Mayans, they have cheaper archers, 10, 20 and 30% cheaper archers throughout the feudal cast and the Imperial Ages, and resources that last 15% longer as well, so you have a good deal of economic advantage with the Mayans. And the walls are cheaper, that's the Mayans team bonus, and looking at Jägerman's base here, these woodlands, same for the Bears being forward here, which is never ideal. It's a nice unwallable base with the main goal in the back even, and Archer's player's dream right there. To the right hand side we have Merc with the Saracens. Reason behind the name probably, Murky Boys. Team names always awkward, hard to come up with, but Murky Boys seems a good one. Gonna play with the Saracens flank here, which is, maybe they're doing the mind games here, because Gurus for sure were expecting Saracens for hideout later, I'm sure. But here we are with Saracens on the right side flank for Murky Boys on Arabia. And Saracens, as we know, have bonus, or provide a team bonus that gives bonus attack against buildings. So even if you're behind palisades walls or even stone walls, these Saracens, archers, crossbows, arbalists break through that much more easily than generic archers do. So that's Murky Boys. Let's have a look at Gros here with the Magyar's pocket. Saving the tryhard civs for later here. Saving the Franks, saving whatever other pocket civilizations they had at hand as well. But this is basically the only open land map they're playing. So makes sense as well to save the other civs for later. Magyars get forging, or they get the melee attack upgrades, period, instantly. Uh-oh. Okay, made it in time. Get the melee upgrades instantly upon reaching each next age. It's a little resource saving, not to have to take into them, but more importantly, getting that +1 attack instantly in the feudal age for scouts or men-at-arms, which we won't be seeing from Pocket. It's very nice in evening out the early fights against other players, scouts, or even early archers. Looks like Burke is about to lose the scout here. Won't really be able to claim any of the sheep either. But hey, at least he knows the location of the enemy town center, so that's something. To the right hand side here, Ricky Glaxus with Tatars on the flank. Tatars get Thumbring and, oh yeah, flaring the TC. I know it's there. I ran into it. Be careful, Orange. Tatars, Cab Archer Civ, we have to say that much, but could still open scouts if they want to. Nice Dark Age economy bonus in the fact that the goats or any herdable provides 50 more food, or yeah, 50% more food. I don't know, it's always 100. Yeah, I guess maybe cows provide even a bit more. And anyway, Tatars could easily open straight archers into crossbows because they get Thumbring instantly in the Castle Age, and then later on you'll probably see them transitioning into cavalry archers because of the Thumbring and Parthian tactics that they get instantly. Jägerman out on the move here on the much more open map of Julostein 998 here. The teal player playing as the Ethiopians flank. So Ethiopians 20% faster firing archers, but then again, Jägerman has the 10% cheaper archers in feudal age, 20 and 30%. So that he'll have an easier time massing up the units needed. So a little poke at the villager placing the mill here, and Jägerman also already got one eco kill with the eagle. That's why the eagle is so weakened, but definitely value there getting one villager off the teal player. Feudal Age is in for Legrostas with 15 seconds of idle TC time, not bad at all. That's a respectable uptime right there. Garrett also up here with slightly higher idle TC time and hence also lower in population. But it did get double bit axe ahead, so has good wood eco going into the Feudal Age here. We'll want to get the horse collar ASAP as well, because we'll need that for the early farms, but as for now, the berries and sheep are sufficient here. Blue ready to move out here now, going for the straight archers. This is a hole, I guess, but yeah, not stressing the walls here. Just going to rely on the aggression here. I see the barracks, I see the range, and I see 3 on gold, so that's likely the straight archers. As for Jägerman, also the straight archers, 5 on gold now. We'll keep sending builders to gold, most likely, to be able to produce out of 2 archery ranges somewhat fluently. 2 scouts for either pocket now, with green producing more of them, while Garrett is actually fully walled here, so he doesn't need to worry about enemy scouts reaching the base here. Could actually just cease scouts production now and aim for a faster Castle Age if he wants to, but obviously you'll want to have army out on the field for map control and to be able to assist your teammates if need be. Jägerman, which I said earlier, has a fairly easily wallable map. He isn't really stressing the walls here, not even the left side where the opponent is. Teal doesn't want to take any chances though, getting those full walls up, and 2 archers producing archers. 2 ranges producing archers currently. Pocket scouts are out as well. Like Rostas could be able to deal some nice and efficient damage here. These archers don't have fletching, so if green just loops all the way around, could snipe some archers easily here with that +1 attack, but they'll also want to wait for some of the Ethiopians archers joining in here for maximum damage potential in a 2 versus 1 situation versus Yegaman here. The orange scouts are on the move looking for potential for raids, but blue is about to be fully walled here. He has the right direction here, and there's might be an opening in between here. No, that's a palisade, so never mind. But yeah, could have entered in the backside here, but Ricky Glaxus reacts with a market foundation and then only one piece of palisade to complete the walls over here. I'm surprised the Egaman isn't taking any hits here. Maybe green just assumes that he has to be walled at this point. He is mines and has the cheaper walls after all. Yegaman now moving out, has fetching in, no armor, but I guess that doesn't matter too much over here. Merc, however, is here with the Saracens, has both attack and armor, and now getting horse collar even to benefit the farms. No market for the Saracens though, which is something I think you will drop sooner rather than later as the Saracens, because it helps you a lot in tweaking the economy for whatever production you need to be making. Well, here we go. Looks like the Tatars player has more archers totally, or 9 to 10 at least forward, but yeah, walls don't really stop Saracens. Nice little villager pick off there from Burke as well, but on Yegaman's side, the scouts are doing work for Legrostas here. Did get 2 villager kills. Yegaman has walled the backside, but oh, that's an opening actually. That's a hole potentially. But Yegaman on his own against 2 armies here, that's a situation you never want to be in. Green, however, not just not joining in on the fight here. Legrostas, you're needed over here in front of the archers. There's a skirmisher in the chat from Ogedai1, aka Dennis, aka Extreme AI. He wants to see some skirmishers over here, but that's not gonna fly as long as there are Magyar scouts out on the move. All in all, I think Yegaman is defending the 2 vs 1 nicely though. He is preserving the archer numbers, keeps production going, could even consider a 3rd range here given the wood count and the cheaper archers of the Mayans. But you need more on gold to justify that as well. Uh-oh, that's 2 villagers that are bound to die over here. I don't know why Yegaman put the archers back. Maybe he wanted to gang up with the rest of his armies here, but good damage being done by Gruz here now in the purple player's base. Doesn't look like Saracens are having any success on the other side, breaking through the walls here either. Just a quick look. Oh, it's open actually, but blue has more numbers than red, so red stays close to the hill. I think that's a good idea. Jägerman, what are we up to here? Losing villagers, apparently. 6 villagers lost for Jägerman. The earlier mentioned easily wallable base, maybe not so easily walled after all, but keeps the archer numbers here, which is very important in team games to keep your unit mass, or any game, but maybe even more so in team games, to really take advantage of the crossbow and arbalest power spikes as the game moves on. No defense for Jägerman, so he's fighting against Ethiopians' faster firing archers that happen to have defense upgrades as well. But Jägerman does have more archers and keeps production rolling somewhat here as well, out of at least 1 range. Here's Merc taking the hill and fighting against, well, they're in equal upgrades here, and Merc has the hill advantage. However, there are a couple of skirmishers inside of here, which makes it more awkward for Merc just to stand here and fire, but he has that hill advantage, and very important as well to have that against the Saracens, otherwise the Saracens would wreck here, but looks like that 25% bonus damage is working out nicely for red here. Also had some skirmishers mixed in, actually, Merc, so good job at that to hold up against the offensives here, and now about to break the barracks to move through here. Now Garrett is on the move with the Burgundian scouts here in Julostan's base, in the Teal player's base. Nice quick walls from Teal. And I guess these scouts are just going to go down now because they don't really... How? That's a hole, I guess? That's probably where the scouts got in. But But they won't be doing a lot here. No villagers lost to this forward, I think, by Teal. I feel like Merc is being slightly passive here with the numbers. Ethiopia's player going Castle Age here, and so are Garrett and Merc over here. Maybe that's why Red is on the passive side here to wait for that Castle Age and crossbows to kick in. Good lead over Blue here, who Ricky doesn't really have any... it's getting close to that Castle Age click actually, but missing a tiny bit of food, so the Saracens player will be well ahead to the next stage. Looks like the scouts have been dealt with. Jägerman with the Alliance Archers and Bass will also benefit from the attack bonus against buildings of the it's the team bonus of the Saracens here. The numbers somewhat comparable here, but here comes Legrostas with the Green Knights to join in with the few numbers that are here. Probably doesn't have +2 yet, or so means that Jägerman could actually get some nice hits in on these small numbers of knights, but with the Ethiopians archers joining in here as well, it's really bad news for Jägerman's archers mass on the left hand side here. He's gonna get cleaned up, in fact. +2 is in for green as well, so fully upgraded knights for the Magyars already, since they do get the melee upgrades instantly. Cavalier being attacked straight away from Garrett here. Garrett only has horse color, didn't prioritize heavy plow yet, but has 22 farms, has 10 on gold here, and dropping a town center with a couple of villagers here, not all of them working. Making space for them there we go. So both pockets extending their brooms, similar approaches here, but on this left hand side we have Teal and Green with a solid forward push here against the Jägerman, the Mayans player. Makes sense to 2 vs 1 the Mayans if you're going to hit one flank, because they can be so ridiculously strong as the game moves on. 3 ranges for Jägerman, but 1 range going down to the Knights and the crossbows here. Nice market wall to keep the aggression out, and now some palisades as well to prevent Knights raids. Oh, but there's a hole next to them. How is this? How is this possible? How do you even expect to spot that? Okay, it's maybe 1 tile there, but I'm not too convinced that's an easy spot. That barracks foundation there keeps the rest of the armies out though, but now needs to delete the walls to let the Burgundians Cavalier in here. They have +1/+2, so we should trade decently against the Magyars' small numbers of knights here, given that the Magyars don't get that extra 2 attacks that the Cavaliers have. Top side, Merc is doing work as well with the Saracens. Masses here broke through, of course, because of the bonus attack against buildings, so we're gonna get some nice trades here against the Tatars' armies. Tatars play still going for the crossbows. Alright, let's see the other side here again. Who has the better cavalry numbers? Burgundians, boom, kicking in here already. Or economy, rather. Still missing that second farm upgrade, but the cavalier numbers ahead of the Magyars here. Magyars don't have any direct eco bonus, so that's to the Burgundians' pocket advantage here. Also, the knights spread out a bit far away from the crossbows here for Legrostas. Not exactly ideal there, but then again, Garrett doesn't have the numbers to engage on his own here, and Jägerman doesn't have any crossbows currently. Alkolner in the chat. Nice. I like how Green is splitting up the armies, but it's not really enough to clean up the offensives here. Merc is still getting some solid value in here from the crossbows, losing numbers, unfortunately. Does he have the market at least? Yeah, has the market now, and a TC in the middle of nowhere, but in a good spot to collect more wood over here at least. So that's something. And the gold. Yeah, neutral gold secure. Maybe it's not that bad. Blue dropping another TC now on stone suggests that long-term Blue wants to get the castle up, and they've cleaned up Merc's forward here now. What's going on over here? forward castle now from the Ethiopians. Teal is not messing around here and seems to have the crossbow mass needed to deal with the Cavaliers of the Burgundians. Yes, the Cavaliers in the castle, they have 2 more attack than Knights and equivalent HP, but they're still only... They still lack blood, and so there's nothing crazy about it. I didn't even know that Treadmill Crane was a Castle Age tech. I've never seen anyone research Treadmill Crane in the Castle Age. Is it to drop the archer ranges more quickly, or is Merc gonna drop a castle here? Let's have a look. Nah, there's no stone for a castle. Why Treadmill Crane? Is it trying to boost the score for point score here or something? Bloodlines coming in and goes for Knights for some reason. I guess it's against just in case of enemy skirmishers here. Yeah, it's an out of the box strat indeed. Fast castle, Treadmill Crane. I don't really fast castle either. Maybe it boosts your farm building, huh? Maybe that's the idea. It makes you build the farms more quickly. So if he had an Incas ally here, it would be truly OP with Treadmill Crane farming. Jägerman forced into a defensive castle here now. No, Treadmill Crane for Jägerman is only at 1 T. No, wait, there's another TC, so never mind. But yeah, good defensive castle, I guess. It doesn't protect the gold, but it does protect any armies from entering this side. So Jägerman is gonna hold on here nicely while Merc tries to push the other side on his own here. Being joined by the Burgundians cavalry though. Nice hold by Jägerman on the left hand side here. Does let the knights in, but now going into pike defense. That's not gonna fly against this mass of crossbows though. And also looking at the eco development here, it's somewhat similar, but Grus, they have had much more untouched economies at home. If you look at the worker efficiency here, it's generally on the higher side for Grus. So it's a nice 2+1 situation over here, but the problem is that the Magyar's pocket is left with a completely free boom at home as well. 86 villagers for the Magyars. It's actually 92 for the Burgundians, so I have to say Garrett is off with a better boom here, but you still don't want to leave the Magyars alone. Yeah, there's a draft. I talked a little bit about it before starting the games here. There's always a draft for these territories. So good pressure here, forcing the Magyar's pocket to help out as well. But now look at the numbers, cavalry numbers. I guess Garrett might be idling to go Imperial Age here, because the resources are certainly there. Might be missing the second buildings, might be missing both the buildings here. University, Monastery going up here for Garrett C16 here. However, Jägerman is taking a beating at home here. Another defensive castle on the gold here. Jägerman is not going to get out of the base anytime soon. And here's the forward castle of Judolstein also breaking the building foundations of buildings, forming sort of a defensive wall here. So now the cavalry could run in again here, but there's a castle, so I guess you don't want to. Big issue here being Ethiopians only 30 seconds from the Imperial Age. Could get some trebuchets out here, and then it's just bye-bye defensive castles of Jägerman. Little bit of cavalier raids here at home base of Legrostas here. I like that from Garrett. That's a distraction that needs to be dealt with. But look at the numbers over here. Saracens, crossbows, and skirmishers, sure, but Green Knights in massive numbers lead here over the Cavaliers. They're going to clean up these Cavaliers before Garrett can get to the Imperial Age, and once Garrett gets to the Imperial Age, he's at risk of having 0 Cavaliers to become Paladin, even if it's half price for the Paladin upgrade for Garrett here. That doesn't give you anything, that power spike, if you don't have any armies to actually upgrade. Yep, Cavaliers going down left and right here, going Imperial Age, yes, but with this cleaned up, with the Saracens, Archers, Crossbows cleaned up here, Grus are in a fantastic spot to push back here now with the Knights and Crossbows of Rixi Glaxus, who still goes for... I did mix in a couple of Cavalry Archers, actually. Did lose 12 villagers though, which is not insignificant. 0 villagers lost for Saracens, 3 lost for the Burgundians, however, Jägerman in need of a reboom here after taking a heavy beating from a 2 vs 1 earlier in the game here. First rev is out for Ethiopians, a second one coming out here as well. Arbalest, as you can see, is in as well, and Bracer, very little armor. But I guess you don't need to worry too much about being hit by enemy cavalry at this point. Yeah, the defensive castle should be going down. Let's have a look at Jägerman's stone count quickly. We'll be able to repair for a while, but it's not going to see the Imperial Age anytime soon. See these 2 bars here? They indicate whether you have the resources to go food and gold to the next stage, and it's a bit far off. Imperial Age just kicked in for the Burgundians, but look at that, only 9 Cavaliers to benefit from the upgrade, and the Ethiopia's player even here to punish the orange pocket here now, denying a castle and getting heavily raided here. I think this is over for Murky Boys, looking at the situation here. They're not that far behind in the economy, all things considered, but now with the pocket completely incapacitated, it's time to call it. Grus take the first game. Let's have a look at the stats. Okay. Totally equal with that there. Nice. Early double bit axe for the Burgundians. Did get horse collar quite early. I did mention that, maybe I just missed it. Ridiculous KD for the Baggers here. Is a testimony to taking good fights here. What's this mean? Yeah, I don't know what that means. Anyway. Burgundians, actually the best economy here, did go to a 4 TC boom fairly early, but that also delays the Imperial Age, which Magyars didn't reach either. So I guess the Burgundians was earlier to the Imperial Age, but didn't really have the army numbers to hold after a questionable engagement in the Castle Age against the Magyars cavalry, clearly in the numbers there, overestimating the power of the Cavaliers potentially. So have a look at the APM chart as well. Did anyone collect relics, by the way? Where is that? There we go. Ah, no relics. Right. As for the maps, we are now going to Murky Boys home map, which will be either Team Islands or Hideout. So let's have a look at the draft again and theorize a bit on the civilizations for Hideout here. Let's mark these civilizations already used. Tatars, Magyars, Ethiopians. As for Jägerman's team, we have Burgundians, random draft there for some reason. Timeout, if your 30 seconds pass, you get the random. Burgundians, Mayans, where are you? There we are. And that last sib was Saracens, which I expected for Hideout, so I'm not going to play Saracens for Hideout. It could be Lithuanians pocket for Hideout, but I think Cumans, given the strength of Cumans on these closed, semi-closed maps, and the team bonus of Cumans getting plus 50% hit points on the palisade walls as well, that's underrated on Hideout for sure. So Cumans pocket, let's theorize Cumans pocket. And then I think I'd say, oh, there's so many options here. You could go Teutons Men-at-Arms Towers, you could go Poles Men-at-Arms Towers, Celts even. Lithuanians, I think they're gonna save for the hybrid maps. So let's say Cuman's pocket, Poles and Koreans flanks maybe. Koreans could come in handy for the navals maps as well. But Cuman's pocket, Poles, Koreans flanks for Murky Boys. That's just my guess here. As far as Grus goes, I think they'll use Spanish for Hideout, because the rest of the maps are involving naval play, not exactly where Spanish shine, except for the cannon galleons late game. But let's say Spanish flank, Khmer pocket, or even Frank's pocket, in fact, but I think they might be thinking about Frank's for some of the other. Now hold on. Frank's could be a good pocket on hideout here, given the civs, and then they could have Spanish flank and possibly even Goth's flank for the Men-at-Arms Towers. Okay, let's say that. Let's try that. Frank's pocket, Goths, and Spanish flanks. Men-at-Arms Towers for the Goths and Spanish with the Conquistadors maybe, but just theorizing here. Let's move on and see what the second game brings us. There's hideout. We had Chinese as well. I forgot that. That's obviously a good option here. Looks like we have a switch of players as well. Humongous is subbed in for. It's not Groves, it's Groose. Right. So guess what? We have humans, but not in pocket. We in fact have Garrett C as the humans. Wait, what is this? What am I looking at? Where are humans? Humans pocket, sorry. I messed up my colors there. Humans pocket. That's game 3, really? Let's do game 2 then. Okay, spoilers. Team Islands is game 2. Whoops. Well, at least we know we'll have 3 games, which should be the case for a best of 3. Team Islands it is. So I don't get to talk about the sims for this one then. Might consider a tiny fast forward here, but before we do, let's set the team names again. Murky Boys and Garous. 1-0 for Garous. Pity we showed the third game, because that kind of gives away the winner for this one, but just pretend you didn't see it. Oh, yeah. Oh. Alright, Team Islands, it is Garrett C in the pocket here with the Vikings. Not exactly a surprise there. Very strong Team Island civilization. Will be potentially going fast castle into long boats here, which is a ridiculous unit on water for the Vikings. Fast firing, easily microed. Yeah, has all the good things going for them. Yeah, the only real threat is the Portuguese caravels, which we won't see in this matchup. So I'm expecting longboats here. Let's have a look at the right-hand side here. Yegeman, dangerous, very close to the water here. Might almost be in galley range here from the shoreline. Or galleon range, sorry, for the late game. But Yegeman with the Koreans. Koreans have things going for them on water as well. They have a unique ship, the Turtle ship, which is kind of a weak cannon galleon in the cast age, so to speak. Maybe we'll see that here. But that remains to be seen, of course. And finally, Merc with the Byzantines. Another good naval civilization, or underrated maybe. They don't have an eco bonus, which sets them back against many other civilizations on these maps where uptimes matter so much. But Byzantines fire galleys fire more quickly. And you also have a discount to the Imperial Age, which could be very handy if you need to try and fight your way back onto water with, for example, fast fire ships, which is usually a solution. And early or cheap Imperial Age could help a lot in that regard. Looks like Murky Boys will be playing the water though, and let's have a look at the other civilizations here for Garous. God's Pocket for Team Islands here for green here for Ulostein and 998. Gov's not exactly famous for their naval play, but they do get Bracer, which is significant for the ships fighting in the very late game. But I think Goths will do a landing play here. I think that's has to be a landing play. Right hand side, Humongous with the Spanish. I don't see any crazy advantages. Spanish, very open Blacksmith, they have all the technologies, so you could probably fight on water with the Spanish, but I'm also seeing landings, castle drops, conquistadors for the Spanish here. You need to hold water somehow to be able to land, though. Finally here, Ricky in the field here with the Italians. 15% discount to the H app, to each age. Cheaper fishing ships, nice eco bonus, and discount on university and dock technologies, I believe. So Italians have lots of things going for them on water as well. Let's do a quick fast forward here and just have a look at what the feudal age brings us on Team Islands. So extended Dark Age for the Vikings, no surprise there. Feudal Ages coming up here from Berkey Boys with Merc being the very first one up here. With the Byzantines placing outposts, getting that free watch for Byzantines, look at that. Extra line of sight, right? And we'll give a nice overview of any landings on the front side here. They are expecting a landing play, so I can see how Merc would want to spend some of that stone and wood on outposts just to anticipate any landings when or if they happen. Humongous is scared about the landing play here already, walling off with houses and palisade foundations. Better safe than sorry, as they say. But no indication of that just yet. I guess he might have scouted. Nah, didn't scout Jägerman side. So Jägerman is indeed going to land here with the Koreans. He's on gold, is on wood, which could facilitate naval play into the galleys or fire galleys as well. But here he comes. As the Koreans, he did drop the barracks at home as well, so this has to be an archer's landing from the Koreans. Nice and early here at the 12th minute mark, but also nice, easily spotted by Blue, I think, once the ship lands. You see the walls, actually. No obvious good landing spot here for Jägerman. I think this is okay. You could drop the range here out of line of sight of Humongous. But Humongous only a few tiles here, and it's walled out the whole landing, and then could just relocate the woodline to somewhere else. It is Fat Castle by Humongous here with the Spanish. That is ballsy. Didn't spot the landing. Meanwhile, on top side here we have some naval fighting between the Byzantines and the Italians. Byzantines faster firing, fire galleys, good advantage here for the red player in equal amount of docks to the Italians player. Losing some fish here for the Italians, that's a good punishment of the food economy from Merc here. In the meantime, you have the pockets going Castle Age here. Goths player, 1 minute 30 seconds to go. 4 on gold here. Only 1 dock, so nothing too crazy here. Has some fish economy rolling, of course. It's either land defense at home or an actual landing on the other side. Blue still hasn't spotted the landing of Jägerman to the other side here. I feel like it's almost a little waste of landing space to go for the blacksmith here, just to kind of reveals everything more, but at least you won't be idling villagers at home. Jägerman with 6 on stone by now, so he wants to go archers and powers. And I'm going to reveal that last range now, but that's after the tower goes up. 4 villagers landing with Jägerman here, and now the first few archers popping out as well. Fletching in, and obviously defense in as well, because Koreans get that defense upgrade instantly. I feel like Humongous is overreacting here now. Doesn't really need that tower, other than maybe to prevent some archers' reinforcements here. You could just relocate this woodline and spend that wood and stone on land armies instead, maybe. Jägerman moving out here, but he will be losing potentially a couple of archers to the tower. Nope, he's going to use the forward villagers to tear down the tower. 1 villager lost, but I guess that's okay. So look at the naval fighting in Blacksmith Market for Ricky Glaxus as well. Has the resources to go Castle Age here. Goths already up. Going into a boom here, so I guess we're going to see a Goths boom into an Imperial Age infantry spam through a landing or something, but I need to hold water for that to happen. Maybe they've seen through Berkey Boys here, or they will just rely on land defense and then take back water later. Hey, John Baudelaire, thanks for the raid. John Baudelaire, much appreciated. We're casting the lowest elo bracket of 3v3 fighters this evening, and it's the semi-final best of 5 between Cruz and Murky Boys. And Team Islands being Murky Boys' home map after losing the first game. Houses along the shoreline here for the green player, I like that, provides some vision. We'll need watch to get full advantage of that. Pretty decent count of galleys here as well, but look at the demos for red coming in now in front of the faster firing Byzantine galleys. Yeah, that's a good demo hit. 2 hits or 2 ships going down just like that. Yeah, Burke doing great at winning water for his team here, and we did see some longboats in the making here as well, so Garrett will be assisting the naval efforts here with the Vikings longboats. This is looking good for Murky Boys so far. Jägerman with the distracting landing here doesn't do too much damage, but keeps blue occupied here, so we won't be seeing any Spanish investments here. And here comes another landing with a couple more villagers to keep creating towers, I guess. Should be scouting a little bit more though to see the extensions here and transport some archers over to deny stone access. Here comes a university for the Spanish. Jägerman still in feudal age. Byzantine still in the feudal age. They can't hold off that castle age transition for too long either. That's going to backfire in the long run. Here's Ricky in the castle age, gonna get more fire galleys here, and getting war galley, that means that they'll be getting fire ship. They have more hit points and slightly higher damage output than the feudal age fire galleys, but red still has the numbers here, arguably 10 to 7. Only 2 docks though, which is the third one coming up here now. That's gonna help out. 1 dock might go down here as well. Nice work of the Viking longboats here to snipe some fire galleys as well. Fire ship is in. What's the numbers here? Don't think it's enough to engage here. Shouldn't be enough. Yeah, looks like a good fight here for Murky Boys. Jägerman, how's he doing? He's dropping more towers. Not really doing too much here. This landing is well defended by Humongous. And yeah, Jägerman not in any spot to break through here by the looks of it. So he's he did garrison archers in the towers, which I like. That has the towers fire more arrows, even if they aren't garrisoned by villagers. Finally, a tower over here as well. He's seen the main gold, so that's going to be denied here, but Humongous is not going to run out of gold anytime soon. Humongous also has the stone for a castle, so once that castle age, the castle age is already in fact, Humongous could drop a castle here or whatnot. Jägerman now gets guard tower. He is the Koreans after all, gets those upgrades instantly. Castle age on the way for the Byzantines, and naval domination for Murky Boys at this point. However, the green player, the Goths, is with an uncontested boom here, and that's a situation you never want to see the Goths in. If they manage to make a landing on the other side somehow, then the Goths' damage could be unrepairable for Murky Boys, so to speak, because they don't really have any land defense. They don't need it because they're controlling water. But they don't have any land defenses. So here comes some ranges at home from Burke. I don't know why Burke is dropping ranges at home. I guess it's just in case of any counter-aggression here. The castle goes up, but at a cost for Humongous, who has actually lost 22 villagers this game. And I'm assuming most of those eco units, did lose the fishing ships, and some of them, I'd assume. And lost villagers while building the castle as well. The Jägerman now wants a castle on the enemy island with 1 freaking villager, but more villagers to join in here from the transport. Gonna deny another gold there and unlock the potential for war wagons. So there's the castle age for Merc. Just took a quick moment to John Baudelaire, I think that's the one. Take a quick shout out while I can. And back to the casting. Jägerman looks like he's going to get this castle up. Blue sees it, can't deny it because of all the crossbows here. So again, Jägerman, I guess, applying good pressure on land here. How in the world Green managed to get the landing in here, that is a mystery to me. Look at the resources as well. Once that castle is up, Green could actually click Imperial Age here. It has the Monastery University as well, but the castle alone would be enough to get to the next age. And there we go, it's up. This is usually something you do on your home island if you want to try to get back on the naval aggression bit here. Look at the barracks going up here. Imperial Age 2.5 minutes away. These barracks drops, they are being covered by the castle, and this landing along with the Goths in the Imperial Age, unironically, could be the end of Murky Boys here. They have such a fantastic naval investment. And Jägerman, of course, with a landing with some war wagons mixed in here now. Should be able to do some damage to Goths at home, but once Green gets to Anarchy from the castle and drop some barracks at home with that Imperial Age production speed boost from perfusion as well, then Ulstein isn't going to have any trouble whatsoever defending against Jägerman's crossbows and the small amounts of war wagons currently out on the field. Here we go. Not producing out of the barracks just yet. Let's see if... I mean, we have good infantry here for both Byzantines and Vikings. Hold on, I'm looking at the wrong side. But Vikings, obviously, and infantry civ gets full upgrades on the infantry. And Byzantines, I guess Merc lacks the last attack upgrade here, but other than that, should be fine as well. And Murky Boys, they need to go into champions here to deal with the Goths, man. Anarchy already in, her skulls being produced from both barracks and castle here, and that should be the end of the archers of Merc, or crossbows rather. Jägerman on the move here with some siege and war wagons and whatnot here, and the longboats still making life annoying on water, of course, but now with the castle going up here from Ricky Glaxus, tells me that Ricky Glaxus wants to get back on water as well, get to the Imperial Age maybe even, and get some fast fire ships out with the Italians here to deal with the naval investments of Murky Boys. Imperial Age on the way for the Vikings as well, but the champion upgrade, that's still many minutes away. It's getting longswords preemptively here, so to deal with the Huskarls that are they elite? Not elite yet, but still being annoying here as another castle goes up forward here for Green. And these raids are going to be a nightmare for Murky Boys. They might just struggle too much to hold against it. Good aggression from Jägerman though, as we see the economy numbers being significantly diminished here. Green actually lost lots of villagers to Jägerman's forward here, while being busy landing, and the eco suffers from it. None on wood. Everything garrisoned here drops a lot of these, and finally some barracks at home as well to get some Huskarls out and get rid of these blasted crossbows on the hill here. Trebuchet is out, and the only player able to contest a trap war here is going to be Garrett C16 once that castle goes up, that is. Green didn't see a push for a long time. Yeah, makes sense. That's a lot of builders down for Green. 53 builders killed. You better start replenishing those, Green. Yeah, producing out of some TCs now should be alright. Her skulls being very annoying on Jägerman's home base here now, forcing Jägerman to react at home. But the problem is all of his army production is in the enemy island, except for a couple of barracks here. Is making some longswordsmen, should be decent enough until Elite Huskarl. In fact, he has quite a few longswords here. Meanwhile, Byzantines with a crazy boom on land here, and TC in the middle of nowhere on the hill here. but probably the only spot you could place it next to some of the woodlines here. Byzantine Knights, nothing too crazy about those, but I guess it's a better response than waiting for the champions and everything. And mind you, even the Imperial Age here. Ninja Skyborg, hello. Doing alright, friend? Nice to see you stopping by for some Age of Empires 2. So you found the follower emotes as well. Nice. This is my own tournament. I host tournaments frequently in Age of Empires 2 and hopefully also Age of Empires 4 in due time. But this is a 3v3 format and quite the selection of maps. I think 14 maps total. And then the semi-final in this case is a best of 5 and the final, grand final, would be a best of 7. I can't believe Jägerman still has crossbows forward, but here they go down to a couple of mangonel shots here, so the forward finally cleaned up here. I guess with Imperial Age in for the Italians, we could get some trebuchets out to deal with Jägerman's forward castles. And Humongous also going up here. It's quite close. We'll be able to produce trebuchets to deal with this. They need to focus down these landing builders as well. And the fact that Jägerman has a DC on land here to replenish the landing offensives. I like that Humongous has gone into guard tower here with the Spanish, because that kind of cuts off any reinforcements from these forward barracks of Jägerman. More barracks going up from green here. Let's just assume that Perfusion is in at this point to boost the numbers, or maybe that got obstructed by all of the villagers being killed on land by Jägerman here. 200 swordsmen is in for Garrett here, and he's going to clean up some of the landing. And Jägerman spots the building builders on this side as well. Doesn't look too pretty for the landing efforts of Grus here. Maybe Murky Boys can fight their way back into it here. Ah, General Zero Hour. That's a Command and Conquer game, isn't it? I've never played that, but I played Red Alert 1 and 2 and Tiberian Sun, so I love these games as well. But Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition warmly recommended as well. I think it's only like $15, $20 on Steam, so not too bad at all. So Monk defense. Ooh, Genoese crossbowmen from the Italians. I like that. That should make quick work of the Byzantine Knights landing on top side here. Merc doing some nice landing efforts here and getting some serious damage down, and the Goths landing has been fought back here as well. Murky Boys fighting their way back into it here, but now look at the naval investments. Fast Fireship is in for weak gig access here. That should make quick work of the naval armies of everything except for maybe the longboats here. Getting careening now, that's going to give some extra armor and some extra transport ship capacity for the Vikings player. But fast fireships versus fireships here, that should be a nasty one for Red to hold off against. Good forward by Red here though. And now let's see here. Hoardings. I love that for the Spanish here. That boosts the hit points of the castle. Even made some conquistadors at home here to, I guess, deal with the small numbers of war wagons. Does he have 2 castles? Yeah, he does indeed have 2 castles. He's producing trebs out of both. 1 castle down for Jägerman. There used to be one over here. But now trebs pushing from the hill, and remember the upgrades is 7,000 HP on this Spanish castle. Jägerman only with 4,800. I'm not sure if he even has a university to get the technologies like masonry and architecture and these things. Yeah, I think that castle is going to be a goner soon enough. 3 trebs. Yeah, probably going to be enough here. And Jägerman's landing effort struggling with her. I see a Vikings castle going up. I guess the Goths player or Grus can't quite spot that yet. Vikings gonna produce the infantry here on land. Vikings get 20% more hit points on the infantry units after all, but with conquistadors out, I'm not sure if that's viable here. You could not live with AoE 4, and where did that bring you? Back to AoE 2D. Yeah, I'm not done with AoE 4 yet. I'm gonna make some more efforts to learn the game. In fact, I might play it after this cast. But for now, I'll happily admit I enjoy Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition a bit more, yes. The zoom levels on AoE 4 are ridiculously close, and that bugs me out a lot. Thanos meme. Oh, I should be able to get that. I like those Marvel movies. Could not live with. Yeah, I don't recall that quote. Yeah, was the end game, I guess. Yeah. See, Conquistadors here should deal somewhat okay with the... is it champions now? I didn't even see. 200 swordsmen still for the Vikings here. Naval situation, there is still quite a lot of longboats here for Garrett, so it should be alright. And champion now on the way in for the Vikings. Imperial Age lagging behind for Murky Boys here, though that could be an issue. And the overall eco situation well ahead for Grus. Ah, yeah, that's true. You could not live with your own failure, and where did that bring you? Back to me. There we have it. Thanks. Gotcha. Merc now finding the Imperial Age. You'd expect Byzantines to be up earlier with their cheaper transition throughout the ages, but yeah, who am I to judge? There's been some heavy naval investments from the Byzantines here, but Swordsman line, yeah, he should have landed with Swordsman instead. Maybe he'd do even better, I'll call it, like Malian's Swordsman or something. But Jägerman's been playing archers in the first 2 games here, so maybe it's changed his favorite unit. If this castle goes up for Ricky, that should stop the push of the Byzantines on this side as well. And leave another castle for Genoese crossbowmen. Ooh, this will be focused down by Vikings cannon galleons, so Garrett doing once more doing nice work at keeping the water for his team here. The first efforts of the Italians didn't quite succeed, but the landing of Murky Boys is being dealt with as well. And once that's been cleared up, all this landing, then it should be possible for Grus to get back on water as well. When is November patch release? I don't know. I guess since the public update preview is out, it shouldn't be too far away, but I don't think it's been announced, no. Yeah, Conquistadors in numbers here means that the infantry landing won't really pay off. Jägerman's potential reinforcements from the Rangers Society, that's also not going to really do too much because of the guard towers and the castle here. You can't move archers. Oh, we have a landing back. Sorry, I missed the green presence back on land here now, producing. Is it elite? Elite Huskarl at ridiculous speeds here. Probably has perfusion in. Pop capped or housed, not sure, 160, 80. Yeah, I think it's pop capped with the gods here and just shredding on land with the Huskarls here. And I don't think there's enough land armies for Murky Boys to do with this. We have champion for the Vikings, but they've been pushing on the land on this side, so they'll need to replenish at home here. And looking at the Huskarl numbers increasing here, even mixing in some halberdiers here. Maybe it's on home island here to deal with some kind of cavalry. Yeah. This is nasty. Jägerman still won't easy, by the way. Jägerman not really with a significant economy here. I think Jägerman is getting close to defeat here. Vikings and Koreans looking pretty darn bad here in terms of overall population. Elite Huskarl versus still 200 swordsmen for the Koreans here. And yeah, lacking upgrades as well. Oy, oy, oy. Jägerman, indeed. Maybe he likes Jägermeister. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. But at least the Byzantine still going strong here. Has 4 TCs and a healthy economy. Not pop cap though. Fast fire ships out. They're not really serving much of a purpose right now. We'll need some significant land presence here to deal with the forward. Excited for the new Berserkers. Yeah, it's... I'm not sure how much that change really does though, because it only changes them in the Castle Age, and in Castle Age you need the castle to get to them anyway. I mean, the Imperial Age Elite Berserkers, they're not... I don't think they're anything different from before, but we'll see. Oh, Byzantine scouts to deal with the Huskarls here. That kind of worked out, I guess, in these small numbers. Egan desperately pumping out some 200 swordsmen here. Doesn't want to give up lightly here. 40 elite longboats, no less, on the water here. I feel like Garrett is has been overinvesting a bit on water here after winning and controlling it for a long while. These are Byzantine's Cavaliers. You know what? Byzantines here shouldn't be making Cavaliers at all. Should definitely be making the Cataphract, even if it's expensive to go for in the long run. They do better against infantry. Now, we've landed some Spanish conquistadors here as well, and there's a castle. Going to further fortify the forward presence of Grus here, who are being raided by longboats, I guess, on land here, but nothing too crazy. Bombard cannons actually from land to try and deal with the longboats here. How's that gonna work out? Yeah. Gothic landing gets too much to handle for Murky Boys here. And the GG is called. We'll move on to game 3, which will be on Hideout. But let's have a look at the stats first, as always. Alright. Pretty beastly KD for the Spanish. A great defense early on against Jägerman's forward. Spotted the landing, kind of. Went into tower defense and held off the Koreans. Mostly, although Jägerman did get great damage in on the Goth's pocket to obstruct the very first landing. Look at the eco stats here. Goths with the best boom. Unsurprisingly, had an uncontested boom for a long while there. And obviously finally got to Elite Huskar and that annoying Goths spam that shredded the opponent's island. Now let's have a look at society stats. 143 villagers. At some point you could free up some pop space there for even more armies if need be, but it turned out to be enough to win the landing here. And finally, look at the APM chart as well, because it's fun to see the differences, some spikes here with the reactions to whatever happened on land, I guess, and yeah. Seven villagers left for for Vikings in the end. That's brutal. That's brutal. Alright, time for hideout. I could switch up this one as well. What did we have here? We had Italians, Goths, and Spanish, which I expected to see for hideout, but we're not going to see them there. And then with Vikings, Koreans, and Byzantines. So some potential strong hideout sims lost here as well. But let's see what comes up next. Yeah, Ninja Skyborg for sure. There's actually a tournament coming up for this game very soon, hosted by Memp TV. It's King of the Desert 3, and it has a $75,000 prize pool, if you could believe it, for a 22-year-old game. So it's amazing. Still alive and thriving, the environment, the AOE 2, or Age of Empires, I'd say, society in general. Alright, here we go with um, setting the team names again, and then hideout it is. Indeed, it's 75k, and we recently had Red Bull Wodolo series as well, where we had fifth and last one, concluding in a bit earlier this year, had a 100,000 prize pool. So yeah, there's big stuff happening. Obviously diminished a bit by Age of Empires 4, but we'll see how successful AoE 4 actually is in the competitive department. It's already established for AoE 2, so hopefully we'll still get funding for AoE 2 tournaments as well. So, gonna have a look through the civilizations here again. It's Hideout, and we have a Cuman's Pocket here for Garrett. He's the only civilization in the game that gets to construct an additional town center in the feudal age. It builds at 50% the speed for balance reasons, but regardless, if you have 8 villagers building it, you get it up fairly quickly in the next stage. And by getting that second feudal age TC up with a nice and early feudal age timing, you get to head start the boom of your opponent and build a very nice and strong economy over the opposing parties. Humans cavalry 5, 10 and 15% faster throughout the ages. And they also have the unique unit Keep Check, which is a sort of a cavalry archer produced from the castle, which fires very quickly and moves quickly as well. But since Cumans lack Bracer, that... sorry, here. What am I looking at? Yeah, there we go. Cumans don't have Bracer, so they fall behind in terms of attack and range for their ranged units in the late game. To the right hand side, we have Jägerman with the Indians. Indians flank, I have no idea what he's planning to do with that, but I'm sure Murky Boys have a plan here. Indians have a cheaper villagers, so they have a nice economy and boom for that reason. And they have the camels to counter enemy cavalry plays, so that could come in handy against the Franks and Khmer here and whatnot. Finally, on the left hand side, Merc with the Britons here. Britons just make archers, that's their thing. They get +1 range in the castle age for their crossbows, and reaching the Imperial age, they get another +1 range. So they'll easily outrange any other archer civilization, and not to mention even onagers, which are supposed to counter Britain's archers play. They are outranged by the Britain's arbalists in the late game. So yeah, definitely going to be the archers here. Maybe we'll even see the legendary longbows of the Britons, although making arbalists from the archery range is just as well, much more easily massed as well. In the pocket spot, we have Legrostas here with the Franks, one of the absolute best cavalry civilizations in the game, and probably going to go Fast Castle Knights here, I'd say. There's not really much reason to make scouts on Hideout because you're already defended through palisade walls, but of course if one of the other flanks like the Chinese here goes for Men-at-Arms towers for some reason, you could break in and do some damage with scouts after all, but Franks have such an amazing economy and boom, it just makes sense to go straight for the castle age when you have these walls protecting you anyway. And here finally, Humongous with the Khmer in the blue. Are also great for these closed map because they don't need any buildings to go up through the ages or unlock other buildings like the stables or archery range where you usually need a barracks first. So it's easier to get up through the ages and to the production as Khmer. You could go up at 23 villagers in fact with Khmer and still have enough resources left over for 2 town centers boom. But yeah. Remains to be seen what's going to happen here. I'm going to toggle the fast forward a bit here because the early aggression on Hideout usually isn't anything special. A little bit of scouts fighting here. We do have a 20 population up for the Franks here, so Franks is going to go for the scouts. And looks like the Khmer player also... Yeah, they're going up fairly early here on Gru's team. And also Jägerman here at 25 pop. That's more like a fast castle uptime for me. Humans 21 pop here, but 20 something seconds while this time. Second easy right on the gold there for Garrett. But I like the positioning. After all, it does protect a lot of the economy here upon entry of any enemy units here. think they're just flaring enemy locations here. Green has been passing to show where the pocket is and where purple is, etc, etc. But now let's see what's going to happen here. Stone bolts from the Khmer. Franks with the fast fuel into eco upgrades, apparently. I don't see any stable yet. Could be a good issue. And Franks should win this fight because the Frank scouts have 20% more hit points, or Frank's cavalry units starting in the feudal age. So yeah, you'd outmatch any other generic scout. Maybe saved for Magyar scouts that get +1 attack instantly. Very peculiar to see the scouts on hideout, but here we go. That's a forward stable. That's why I didn't see it, in fact. So going to play scouts archers here, which is good. Chinese double range archers means that if you keep the archers in front, it makes quick walling with houses or palisades behind a lot more awkward, and then the scouts could break in and do some serious damage. So they're going to go with a 2 vs 1 approach on the right hand side, while Humongous walls up with the stone walls on the left side here. Yeah, I think those stone walls go up uncontested. Let's go back to the scouts on the other side here. Jagerman quick walling with the barracks. He's gonna need that anyway if he wants to go into camels or whatnot here. In fact, against this extended feudal age forward, when the castle age kicks in, Jagerman could just make Indians light cab here and get away with it, because the Indians light cab, they get, or Indians cavalry units in general, get +1 pierce armor in the castle age and another +1 in the imperial age. Hello, misclick. Yeah, not gonna have any success here with the scouts and archers for now. Maybe deny the stable here. We're not gonna see any aggression on the left-hand side here. Humongous is basically just giving away the free boom to the Britons here, which could be scary. However, there is a range here for the Britons upon the way to the castle age. I don't know what that skirmisher is about. Might just be a misclick. I don't understand the extended feudal by Humongous though. Khmer has such an easy way of getting up to the next stage. Not making any army here, just feudal into stone walls defense here. I guess that's a play as well. Camels are out for Jagerman. Should make quick work of these scouts, and I guess it's only feudal age archers from the Chinese here. The camels lacking armor, admittedly. They still have that +1 pierce armor from being Indians. Camels. They could clean this up, I think, if Jagerman is patient and gets, say, 6 or 7 camels with +2 defense in here. That's going to be important for Jagerman to get that extra defense. Britain's castle coming up. Longbow hype, potentially. Oh, that's nice on the hill here. This is a nasty hill for the Britons at home base here. But with some extra resources being covered by the castle around here. We're quite alright regardless. And of course, Britons aren't going to break through here anytime soon. We'll need to go Imperial Age and ram push or treb push these walls to do anything to the Khmer player, who is on the way to the castle stage now with a healthy farm economy behind it. Has all of the eco upgrades here that goes for most of the players. Ooh, but on the right hand side, they're through at Jagerman's base here. No sign of a castle age transition for the Chinese, and as you can see, lacking some gold here as well. But the armies are in, and a decent chunk of feudal age archers could still deal with camels, I guess, especially with the scouts in front here tanking the camel damage. Yeah, Jagerman loses some numbers here on the way through defending. It's holding nicely on his own, of course. He's placing a lot of his town center on the woodland as well to protect the economies here. And with the Castlage now on the way for Julos and the teal player here, they choose to pull off. Nice defense again from Jägerman, not having lost a single villager here. Cumans on the way to the Castlage now. Look at this very healthy farm economy here for the Cumans. The stables, or for that matter, the archery ranges for Cumans are also costing only 75 wood, so easier to get them produced. That's going to change in the next patch. Then they've been tweaked up to, I think, 100 wood for the Cumans, but that's a very insignificant change. I.e. play. Oh, block it, block it, block it. Stay there. Oh, that was dangerous for teal there, but looks to be alright. Nice play. Oh, that's what you meant. Yeah, no worries. I didn't quite capture the context there. Humans making the knights now. Garrett C with let's see the eco setup here. Impact only 10 on gold, which means that's only going to support 2 stables, provided that we have gold mining. But yeah, that could change quickly enough. Look at the overall idle TC times here, which should admittedly give Grus the villagers lead here, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So I guess it's because of the extra TCs of Murky Boys here making a difference. Big fingers, yeah. I know the struggle of sausage fingers when mobile typing. Nice castle on the hill here for Humongous now. Should keep the archers away, of course, but it doesn't necessarily keep the rams at bay here. Nice, adding a mangonel now that makes it... Actually, Britons in the Castlage getting crossbow and bodkin could outrange mangonel and take it out, but the rams obviously need to back off here. Don't want to lose the rams needlessly here to defensive mangonel, and there it goes. Oh, did he actually? How did Merc spot that? Maybe it was in the ram line of sight. Should just pull it back home to repair, I guess. 6 HP left on that ram. Alright, over to the other side here, where there's 2v2 action going on here. Camels for Jägerman, now with +2 and +1 here, not bad. Humans, same upgrades. While there's a very, very decent chunk of Chinese crossbows here that's going to be a concern as the game moves on. Oh, Ballista Elephant. Is Humongous actually going to break through here, or is it just making Ballista Elephants for the memes? Ballista Elephants is the only unit that can cut through forests in the Castlage. That would just be epic if we see a Ballista Elephant cut through here. I think it's actually serious about it. It's going Ballista Elephant. Now that's a proper beam. That's trolling right here, going for the Ballista Elephant push. Forward Castle and a forward University for Teal here. Going to keep up the pressure on the Jägerman's side. They don't want to fight with the... They don't want to risk having to fight against the Imperial Camels from Jägerman here with the Cumans. And given the cavalry numbers of Garrett C here, I think Garrett C could also take the fights against the Camels here without worrying too much. Legrosas with the Frank's Knights joining in as well. Second double layers of walls here. But clearly doesn't trust his teammates here to wall off. And Gamel's doing alright, but the overall army mass from Murky Boys is just too large here. Stops the forward castle, or I guess might have been deleted by Teal here. Yeah, I recovered some stone, likely. So Murky Boys officially pushing back here, but let's see the wall, and just a few tiles left here, and then Grus are like semi-safe on their side here. Eco not looking too great for the Chinese here, losing all of the crossbows, only 39 villagers left here. While on the other side here, the red player is also walling off here. Which means that the Britain's crossbows could and should be joining in on the efforts on the other side. Oh, some back and forth action here now. Jägerman is through at Julostein's base again here. ready to raid with the camels, diminish the crossbow numbers and snipe some builders here. That ever-growing Cumans numbers of knights is going to be a concern though, with the second attack upgrade kicking in here, and the eco upgrades to support it as well. Yeah, Franks should have a real hard time keeping up with the production here. The ballista elephants though, 8 ballista elephants no less. You could punch through here with them and catch Britons completely off guard here. Why? No crossbow. Oh, there it is for the Britons and Imperial Age. That means Arbalest Bracer should be on the menu as well. But Merc doesn't have the craziest food and gold economy to support that right away, so might not be able to get to it. Where's the university from Merc? Is missing that as well, so missing crucial upgrades like ballistics, and once the Imperial Age sets in the chemistry as well. But with Imperial Age, you'll be able to produce trebuchets from the castle here for the Britons, and that makes the defensive castle of Humongous at risk of being taken down here. So Jägerman getting some good raids in here now, 5 villagers down. And chasing the Franks numbers, they should definitely take the fight here, I think. Similar upgrades, yes, but better numbers for the Cumans. Just take it! Take the fight! Yeah, nice. Nice fight. Britons don't really have anything against Ballista Elephant. No, I guess you'd need loads of arms, but Britons have no idea that... Okay, seeing the flag, maybe smells what's happening here. But, I mean, it shouldn't be a huge concern, though, with the humans' economy behind this. If that's healthy enough, you could just send knights over to deal with the ballista elephants. If you get close enough, you could abuse that minimum range that the ballista elephants have. They are basically a scorpion mounted on an elephant. So, if you get the humans cavalry over to this side, supported by arms from behind, then you should be alright. Yeah, no bloodlines for the ballista elephants either. In fact, I don't think Blue has any stable at all to get those upgrades. Maybe it doesn't know that the stable upgrades apply to ballista elephants as well, the husbandry and the bloodlines. Not too sure about armor. I never make those units, but just for fun would know, he loves those mass ballista elephants. It's a good offensive by Murky Boys on the top side here, though. Cumans going Imperial Age. Has Garrett C been mining some stone? He is on stone now, 1 builder on stone. So a forward castle with the Cumans here would be nice, or maybe just a ram push as well. Siege ram. Let's check that ballista elephant. Yeah, you're right. They get the cavalry armor upgrades from the blacksmith. And they also benefit from speed and hit points from the sable, and range from the university. I guess that's chemistry. Yeah. Yeah, and obviously conscription as well when you get to the Imperial Age. Oh, what's up? Ballista elephants are on the move. And what do Britons do against this? Arbalesters, look at the damage they're doing. They take forever. No bloodlines though, so the HP could be higher on the Ballista elephants. No armor, which again could benefit the defense against the Arbalests. But Imperial Age is in for the Khmer. Another castle is going up. Khmer also get access to Siege Ram, which is a nightmare for Britons to deal with. Armor, bloodlines, and siege engineers. Makes sense, yeah. Do Khmer get siege engineers? Yeah, they do, yeah. That wasn't actually listed, but I guess that applies to the university upgrade. Barracks now for the humans. Gonna go into pikeman shift here against the Indians and Frank's cavalry. Lots of cavalry units on the field here, in fact. Oh, look at all those. He pulled those ballista elephants back. Is he gonna punch through? Just break through here and raid inside Britain's base. Oh! Oh! Wait, why are breaking through to... What's the plan here? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Nice. No. Remind me to look at the breakthrough on the other side here. Yeah, putting them back to home base just for safety here. Not needing to worry too much about the Britain's push here. Camels and Cavaliers. Indians obviously get heavy camel and Imperial camel, while Cumans only get the generic Castlage camel, but they do get paladins. Fastest paladins in the game will catch up with the Franks. However, the Franks paladins, with Legostas about to reach Imperial Age here, will be able to get to paladins that have more hit points than the humans ones because of the percentage bonus. Why are you just chilling around with the armies here? What's the plan? What's the plan? Chemistry coming in, conscription coming in to boost production speeds. This castle probably gonna go down, and the Britain's arms just pushing here. But look at the breakthrough! Look at the cut through with the ballistas. Oh, ballistics for the ballistas as well. Top side here looks like Teal is going to prepare some trade, as is Blue has one market up. Okay, that's better than nothing. Mining more stone for more castles. Full ballista elephant meme play here from Gerus in the semi-final of 3v3 fighters. Nice. Looks like we'll have some trade running for Murky Boys as well. They're using the bottom board. Why only one market though? They're not in a hurry. I guess it's enough to trade. Castle stays up for you Mongoose over here as well. But this, oh man, are you seeing this, Red? Sure as heck is hearing it. But I wonder where he's gonna break. Is he actually gonna break through to the Cuban side? This is so awkward. Sometimes they miss and they hit some other tree. What's going on here? Is it panic repairs at home or elite ballista elephant? Come on! How often do you see that in a competitive game or ever? Maybe we just want to take all the wood and starve them with wood. That would be a 1000 IQ play against Britons, yes. Onager is in for the Britons. That's actually a good response to the Ballista Elephant play, because they are a siege weapon. Siege ramps will have a Ballista Elephant struggle, as will Onagers if you get a good blast in. And also considering these are elite Ballista Elephants without Bloodlines, Husbandry, and stable armor upgrades. What? They missed? Okay, this is clearly bugged, this going through trees. Do we need to be right next to the tree or something? Imperial Age in for Teal as well, who has been holding incredibly well here against the push of the humans and the Indians. Hand Cannoneers are in for Jaegerman here, which are also great for the Indians. They have a unique technology to boost their range, I believe. No, I didn't know that these upgrades applied to Ballista Elephant, so I'm not surprised they didn't know. So, yeah, offensive coming to a halt here from Murky Boys. They are thinking long-term about the trade here, though. Boosting castles in the trade line. They have that trade income already. That goes for both teams, in fact. Let's have a look at the trade stats. Let's have a look at the Ballista Elephants about to break through the Cuban's base here. Oh, takes forever, doesn't it? And just holding this side with the two castles now. More Ballista Elephants making an opening here as well. 44 elite ballista elephants, with Franks getting paladin over here, and the Cuban player just realizing, oh help! Help! I'm being attacked, please help! Oh, this is such a deadly raid by the ballista elephants. The raiding ballista elephants. That's a sentence I never thought I would be saying, but here they are. Decent reaction by Garrett here. Gets some quick houses up to obstruct pathing, but then again the ballista elephants could just break another line of trees here and find a way through still. And this forces the almost the complete attention of the Cumans player to deal with this. Cavalry should send the paladins over here, but these are Scorpion projectiles, and we have a steady flow of reinforcements entering as well, I guess. One castle is down, so Britain's pushing nicely here, getting an honor shot in on the castle. Look at these beefy boys. Oh, next time you won't just remember to get the Bloodlines and Armor and Husbandry, maybe the most important one here, because that boosts the speed movement. And this is a two-edged sword as well too. Yeah, there we go. He realizes there's something. Fortified gate, yeah, coming up here for the Khmer to limit any Hussar raids using the same tunnel here that Humongous just made. And this is some incredible damage. How do you react to this? Siege rams, Onagers. I think Cumans get siege Onagers as well, but no siege engineers. So that might apply here. Yeah, even the paladins get shredded here by these mass of the beefy boys. Here come the pikemen. They're not even going to get half close to these massive units. I think the beauty of going elite ballista elephants like this is that they're seen so rarely that your opponent just won't know how to counter it. Literally won't know. Let's see the trade stats. Humongous with 34 military kills now, by the way. Grus with an economic lead. They are slightly behind in military, but then again, the military masses will be needed over here to deal with the forward currently happening. Imperial Age. In Imperial Age, you could sling, so Humongous could definitely consider sharing some of the resources here. At this point in the game, didn't really do so yet. Let's have this. Nope, didn't sling anything. Trade happening for both teams here. Looks like the ballista elephants will be cleaned up, but did give a decent blow to the Cuban's economy. Push to the north has been halted as a result, and Teal now able to push back. Would be better for Khmer to spam them. Yeah, true. Why not both? Stables going up here now, so finally we're going to see Bloodlines and Husbandry and defense upgrades, and maybe you Among Us will have a bit of an epiphany here, seeing that the ballista elephants will benefit from these upgrades. Five military now for the Khmer. That's surprising given the abundance of resources here. A little bit low on gold, of course, but I also could invest into more trade here. Only one market producing the trade. That's going to be ridiculously low here. Jägerband collecting the relics. Nice. If he has sultans in for the Indians, he'll get the gold boost from the relics as well. Imperial Camel is in. So we might see a drawn out third hideout game. Forward castle, no, not forward, defensive castle from Teal here, but that gets denied, if not just temporarily here. Blocking the gap over here. Franks with light cannon. Is it gold struggle for Franks as well here? Nah, lots of gold in the bank. We could see endless flow of Franks Paladin with this income. Here comes one of those cheap Franks castles here, but we'll need a lot of paladins to deal with this mass of Britain's armless now at this point. Not nearly enough army here from the Khmer, and why make light cam at this point? Let's see the ballista elephants now. They have bloodlines, so they have 310 hit points now. And also that armor from the blacksmith upgrade. So I guess it's Hussar ballista elephant for the blue player then. Against the Britain's arms. Garrett C with the Cuman's Paladins here taking down castles, pushing together with Jägerman on this side. Hand Cannoneers and Paladins, tough to beat. Hand Cannoneers counter Halberdiers, and Paladins would take out basically anything else, I'd say. But they are struggling to push here. They need some kind of forward siege initiative as well to close out the game here. I love the walls that have gone up here to protect the trade line. That certainly secures the trade income for the long game here for Murky Boys. But it is Frank's Paladins against Cuman's Paladins here. Obviously the Cuman's Paladins in ridiculous mass here now. 52 of them against the Franks with only 6 on the field. I'm going into Halberdiers here. But that shouldn't work as there are hand cannoneers on the field as well. So up on the other side. Oh, Khmer. Light cab in Mountain Series in the Imperial Age could most definitely go for the Hussar upgrade here with the golden food currently in the back, but maybe it's queued way behind some units here somewhere. Nice little meat shield here in front of the Arbs would actually allow the Ballista Elephants to hit from behind here. Get some cheeky Scorpion damage in there. Hussar finally in Khmer, so I guess it was in the queue, I just missed it. Nice. Lots of building foundations obstructing the raid potential here. Stone walls coming up for Legrostas as well to protect the trade line in the back here. Crucial to get those stone walls up and not allow Murky Boys to raid the trade here. Yeah, they're in. There's a few Hussars, but that shouldn't be any disaster. Orb numbers somehow diminishing a bit here. The Ballista Elephants are getting shots in here because of the Hussars running in front and tanking Orbalist Fire here. I'd really love to see some Siege Ram initiative here from the Khmer, because that would soak a lot of the Arbalist hits even better than the Hussars here. But the Hussars, that's a good middle way here. I bet Humongous has a healthy food economy here, 65 on food. So, should still be able to keep the Britons occupied and at home here. I mean, Worker Boys still have the initiative here. They have more of the map. They have had trade running for a while. And their resources income is more than decent. They just need to keep that population running. Bombard cannons for the Indians now. Fortified wall to further strengthen the walls. No walls on the south side though, which could backfire if they get through somehow. Like the Elephant, Scorps, Hussar comp. Yeah, Hussars are fine. Tanking the damage here. But I guess at this point, Humongous would benefit from, eventually when the trade sets in, would benefit from a heavy Scorpion switch rather than Ballista Elephants, because it would make it a lot easier to replenish the numbers here. But it's working out now against the Britons. Arbs going down here, Ballista Elephants firing from behind. The Rams won't really reach the Ballistas either, and that's a cleanup. What's going on here? Last armor lacking for the Britons, but yeah, Ballista Elephants, they shoot through like Scorpions. They're not exactly in huge mass right now, but we have 2 castles producing them. And now the Franks Paladins are back on the menu as well, with the eco allowing for that. Oh, not looking too pretty for Teal here, losing all of home base. But more importantly, the fortified walls are up, protecting the trade line of Grus. They have all of it protected at this point, given the walls and the castles down here as well. Yeah, that's right, Britain's lacking all of the defense upgrade here. Siege Ram now coming for the Cumans, which is probably going to extend the push up north here. They need Rams to break through the walls as well. Ballista elephants, only 14 of them, and Humongous with 51 army total, but that's mainly hussars. So with better upgrades for the Britain's halbs here, it would look a lot better for the red player as well. Full halb spam and a couple of onagers. So as long as the halbs are in front, that should be working out, because get some hits in on the ballista elephants, which are a siege weapon. The Britons could definitely push back a bit here. Ooh, Frank's paladins now outnumbering the Cuman's paladins here. And let's compare here. 180 HP to 192, I believe. Yep. And yeah, re-walling here with the gate, pushing most of the cavalry of the Cumans here now. We have 12 stables, no less, producing for Garrett C here. But Frank's player has some halves mixed in as well. Is actually trying to chase down hand cannoneers. That's a mistake by Legrostas here, not to send some paladins over here to deal with these very exposed hand cannoneers. Halves won't cut it, but they are keeping them busy, if anything. Oh, yeah, this nasty hill here is kind of a game decider, but this is... Ooh, another chop through to the forest. Merc wants to pay back the efforts of Humongous' raids earlier on, and that could be nasty for the Khmer here, with this ridiculous Khmer farm economy here supporting the Hussar production. The setback of this breakthrough for the Britons here is that Britons lack the mobility that other Sims have, so without any assistance from Cuban's cavalry here, it's limited how quickly you can push and raid, even if you break through here. Oh, and a lovely choke point for Humongous to take advantage of for the ballista. So nice hit with the onager there. Villagers fighting against the onager here. They should be taken out by the arms, presumably. They managed to get some raids in here. There are some orange hussars from the Cumans here. They're way too quick. They have 15% faster movement for Cuman's cavalry, so it's hard for the halberdiers to catch up here, but they are chasing, and once you reach the edge of the map, of course, the halbs will be able to pick up on that and snipe some units. So it's just a small units. We see the Frank's paladins, they are being outrun by the hussars here. Now, Chinese ranges is Yulostan going to go back on the arms here now? Halberdiers in mass here. I guess he wants to get to ARPs to deal with the hand cannoneers and potentially Imperial camels as well. We'll see what comes out of these barracks. Elite skirmisher. That works against hand cannoneers as well, actually. So we're past the 1 hour mark here, and definitely no clear winner defined here. The overall population is dead even. The overall economy is dead even. The overall military situation is comparable. Good raids. Megaman there with the hussars as well. Chinese player did reboom in the back here. Wait, what's that? Yeah, did reboom a bit over here. Will halbs not being used. You should definitely send the halbs into the fight here, now having them massed up here. Hussar spam just never ending here. This is the best point of entry to raid the trade line for Murky Boys here. In fact, skirmishers, hussars. Humongous clearly doesn't have that best trade gold income yet. It's floating quite a bit of resources though, which is probably due to the pop cap situation here. Now the Frank's Paladins joining in on this side. Because they kind of stabilized the top side here, stone walls and whatnot. It's going to take a while to push Murky Boy's side though, because they still have a lot of army and they still have their economies somewhat safe. Over through here, never mind. I don't know how we found an opening there, but that's certainly a welcome point of entry for some of the Frank's paladins here. That might even take a little while before Orange notices. It's only 4 paladins killing off villager after villager here. So much action in these territories, not always easy to figure out where to hit. Hussars here. Looking for trade raids, I think that might be the idea here, but oh man, that was actually unfortunate that all these Chinese helps aren't here anymore. Yeah, Khmer Hussars will clean that up though. And here are the helps I was talking about. They are going to poke down Krebs. Fantastic value. Even the Arbs behind here for the Arbalesters behind here for the Britons. There are so many Halberdiers, the Arbalesters can't take him out in time. They have presumably full upgrades, so they'll eat that. Oh, get the last one! Get the last Treb! Now enter the Frank's Paladins and... not enough Halberdiers here from the Britons to deal with. I think full upgrades are... Wait, only the first attack upgrade! Ah! Missing 2 attack upgrades. Britons get a full Blacksmith Tech 3 for their infantry, but somehow Merc is still missing both attack upgrades for the Halberdiers. That's a huge oversight in these fights here, where you really need the helps to deal with the Hussars and Paladins and whatnot. Oh, so Guru's pushing back here now. They are fighting on population cap while Murky Boys are at roughly 500 here. And pushing back on... Actually, only on this side. They have to defend and hold on this side, and there's a lot of armies trying to work their way through the choke point here. Siege rams will help tear down the walls here, maybe allow the cavalry to enter. And look at the spam of units here, especially from Murky Boys. They are producing like champs here on this side. Yeah, so they desperately need to decrease the... or increase the size of this choke point, rather. Need to diminish the choke point here. No, extend the choke point size here so that the cavalry units can flow through more easily. If they break through here, they could easily raid the trade line and cut off gold income from Gruz. However, with the current economy in the bank for Gruz, that might be doing them indirectly doing them a favor. 56 on gold for green now. That's a lot of trade units here. Probably just been producing trade units. Might still be producing trade units. No, Franks. No struggle with gold income here, to say the least. They have a full trade route from left to right that goes for both parties here. Bottom side, the ballista elephants and skirmishers, elite skirmishers from 2 players here, is again contesting the Britons here. Arbs and onagers here for the red players, though, making it quite likely that some big shots could clean up a lot of these forward units. Let's see if the ballistas manage to snipe the onagers here. It's not too easy for them. That's a decent dodge. Oh, the Arbs are just flattened here by the double projectiles from the carrier. Unique technology for the Khmer. Double crossbow, it's called. Gives ballista elephants and scorpions double projectiles, so they're shooting 2 projectiles at a time. You can see chemistry is in as well with the flaming arrows here, but we are losing ballista elephants here and not replenishing them out of both castles here. And Merc is breaking through the choke point of the wood here as well, and will lose the Treb here most likely on the wood line. Oh, I can't believe they have the stamina for games like this. It's the 3rd game in the best of 5. It's now at 1 hour 17 minutes, but Merc was the GG. Maybe they're just tired of fighting here. Maybe they feel like they're struggling to keep up here. I guess the Paladin raids here are going to be an issue. Getting close to the trade here. Army situation. Okay, maybe it was time to call it being pushed back on both sides here, but... Huh. That shifted around rather quickly. And Grus take the 3-0, but Murky Boys certainly didn't make it easy for them, especially not in the last third and last game here. Let's have a look at the stats. $815 5.2 KD for the Franks. That's a ridiculous one. Khmer on the positive side as well, even with all that Hussar spam getting out on the positive side of things. Yeah, better boom, best boom for the Franks here. The trade income was just, let's see, they did send some resources. I don't know what kind, but allowed TL to reboom here. Where's that trade profit? There we go. 25,000 trade gold. That's a ridiculous gold income for trade there for Legrostas. Fastest field late. Scouts, archers. I haven't seen that a lot on Hideout, but it worked out okay. They did some damage on Jägerman early on, but I think they set themselves back further than they needed to. That Frank's boom could have kicked in a lot earlier with just a straight fast castle play. And castle age times overall rather slow here, except for Jägerman with the 1452 with the Indians. Those early camels helping out a lot, of course. Blue team won, indeed. It's just pumping paladins, yeah. How would you not pump paladins with 25,000 gold from trade? Nice game though. Drawn out battle on Hideout. So GG and good luck in the final for Grus. The final best of 7 will be happening in a couple of weeks. They've had some, I think, if I heard correctly. So I'll stay tuned for that, of course.